When I met Mariam about 3 years ago, Mariam was very crestfallen. She was sad. And the clothes she was wearing were torn, were like tatters. And the shoes she had was so worn out that it was better off her walking barefoot. This 20-year-old girl from one of the informal settlements in Nairobi seemed like she had reached the end of her journey. And at that point, she had two options, it seemed. One was to get married off at an early age at 20, like most of her peers, or to go and get work as a house help and maybe make some little money out of that. Now, Mariam didn't want to do either of those. She wanted to pursue higher education. So Mariam came to Filamujuani and learned how to be a camera person. In that 1 year, she applied for remedial classes and was able to boost her grades and get accepted into one of the local universities in Nairobi. We were so excited for Mariam. Mariam went back home and told her mother that she had been accepted to one of the local universities in Nairobi. Her mother wasn't very happy with her. Her mother was very disappointed. Her mother told Mariam, "Mariam, why are you trying to embarrass us? How do you expect me to pay that money for you?" You see, for her mother, the $600 she was paying annually for her high school tuition was such a stretch. And now Mariam was expecting her mother to pay for her $3,600 a year. Now, that was a big stretch for her mother. That was 6 times how much money she was paying before. But Mariam told her mother, "Mama usijali, neza jilipia karo yangu sasa," in Swahili, which it means, in English, "Mother, don't worry, I'm now able to pay my own fees." You see, the work Mariam was now getting as a camera person, Mariam was earning about $400 in a month. And she was able to educate her way through herself through college now. So her mother didn't have to pay money for her. So Filamujuani, which means films in the sun in Swahili, is my passion. I love it. But my profession is a photographer. I've worked in Syria, I've worked in Jordan, I've worked in Darfur in Sudan, Somaliland, South Africa, Kenya, and the US. And I've had the opportunity of having my work published in some of the major newspapers in the world. But I started feeling very stretched with this thing which is my passion and this thing which is my profession. I felt like I couldn't do both of them. In fact, 2 years ago, I reached a point where I wanted to quit. I wanted to walk out, knowing very well there are other Mariams who would have benefited from the program. My wife saw my frustration and asked me to apply for the Acumen Global Fellowship Program. The first time I missed the deadline, I didn't apply for it. The second time, I knew I had to for the sake of my marriage. So I applied for it just to get her off my back. So when I got yeah, that's the truth. So when I got accepted into the East African Regional Program as a fellow, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But in the last 1 year as a fellow, I have gained so much. I've learned how to lead well. I've learned how to put up systems and how to put up structures to make sure that the organization I'm running runs well and runs in a way that's sustainable. In that 1 year also, the program has given me words to my story. Before, I knew what I was doing was important, but now I know that what I'm doing has value. I know what it means to stand with the poor. Before, I used to feel like I was crazy alone, but in the program, I've met 19 other crazy people who are doing crazier things in more remote places in Kenya. One of them is Eda. Eda is trying to make the young people, the youth in Kenya, to be more passionate about their country so that they can be change agents, so that they can see themselves as change agents in their own country. There's Christine, who's working with artists in Kenya, so they can stop being starving artists and make some money from their art. There's Otim, who's trying to revolutionize education in Uganda, and Bilo Hassan, who runs a county newspaper in Garissa. Those are just 4 of the many other, of the 19 other fellows who have been within this journey. I know now it's not going to be all easy going forward, but I know that many others have gone ahead of me and they had it harder than me, but they managed. So I have that knowledge now. Before I felt alone, now I know I'm not walking alone. I feel like Frodo in Lord of the Rings. I have my band of brothers. I have my band of fellows. Thank you.